Alright guys, so this is the concluding part of the video on how to calculate the volume of water in your pond. Now for those of us using circular ponds, this is just a diagram, okay, for circular ponds, right? Now look here, we have the diameter, okay, of course the volume, the radius, right, and then the height. These are all terms to look out for. Now for diameter, the diameter is the length between this point, this edge, and this point here. So this is for diameter. If this is 5 feet, for example, okay, we are not looking out for diameter, but we must know the length of the diameter or the dimension of the diameter before we calculate for radius. All right, so if this is 5 feet, the height is from the base here, this point, upward this way, is for the height. And if the height, this is diameter, remember. So if the height, for example, is 4 feet, what happens? We must find a range, okay? And the range of our volume of water will be at 3 feet. Remember, the size of this pond is 4 feet in height, okay? Meanwhile, the water cannot get to 4 feet because your fish in the long run will swim out or just flow out of the water. So what you do, you leave it at 3 feet as your range. Now we'll be calculating for 3 feet. The diameter is 5 feet. So what happens right here is, because we are looking for radius, we'll have to divide this by 2, okay? And what's the half of 5 feet? We have 2.5 or 2.5. all right, but let's go with 2.5. okay, let's use the decimal against the fraction, so 2.5. now the formula for calculating the volume of water in a circular pond is volume is equal to pi r square h. So this is the formula, where pi is 22/7 or 3.14. okay, so we'll be using 3.14. I'm establishing all of this so as to have a foundation that will lead us to calculating effortlessly. So with this formula, what do? We already have our radius as what? 2.5. so we go ahead and say volume, because we are looking for volume, is 3.14 times radius. The radius now is 2.5. remember, when you're converting, what do we have? We have 1 foot is equal to 30.48 cm. Hello. So with this, we now have our radius multiplied. With this, we have our radius as 2.5 multiplied by 30.48. so what do we have? So let's go this way. 2.5 times 30.48, we have 76.2. so this is now in cm. 76.2. remember, our radius is squared, so times, what's the height? 3 feet. So let's calculate for 3 feet. 3 times 30.48, what do we have? 91.44. so this is 91.44. so coming down here, we have 3.14 times 76.2. remember, this is squared, so we multiply by 76.2. what do we have? 76.2 times 76.2, we have 5,806.44. okay, then we multiply by the height, which is 91.44. so what do we have now? 3.14 times 5,806.44 times 91.44. so it gives us 1,667,154.343. all right, remember this is in centimeter cube. All of these values are in centimeters. all right, so remember this is in cm cube. So what do we have now? For us to get our volume, we also need to use our conversion table, which states that. So using conversion table, we have 1 cm cube is equal to 1 milliliter. 1 cm cube is equal to 1 milliliter. So 1,000 milliliters is equal to what? 1 liter. And that's because we need to leave our answer in liters for volume. So this becomes, so we now say, therefore, if 1,000 milliliters is equal to 1 liter, right? 1,667,154.343 as our value. So because we are looking at we want our answer to be in liters, is equal to what? X. At this point we just cross multiply. So if we are cross multiplying, so we cross multiply. Okay, at this point we cross multiply. So if we are cross multiplying, we have 1,000 milliliters over 1,000 is equal to 1,667,154.343, okay, divided by 1,000. So X becomes what? If you are dividing 1,667,154.343 by 1,000, we have 1,667. So this is 1,667.154 liters. Okay, so the volume for this size of tank, the volume of water that this size of tank can contain is 1,667 liters. So we just approximate this to the nearest whole number, and this is about what we have. So volume is equal to 1,667 liters, okay, of water, right? So you can use this formula to know the actual size of your circular pond. I hope this video makes a lot of sense, and afterwards we'll be calculating the stocking density required for your pond. You must know the number of fish to stock in your pond so that you'll be able to manage your livestock well and then come out with the best result possible during sales to maximize profits and grow your farm. See you in my next video. Bye for now.